Yo, what's good, YouTube? Before the video starts, I just want to say I appreciate all the love and support. And if you guys fuck with this content, drop a like, drop a sub. Help me at 3K subs. And comment if I miss anything and you want me to go over it in a future video. And I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm gonna just dive straight into it. Obviously I'm gonna make this a series probably every time there's a major update or every time there's a new season and something crazy happens because I think it's good. I keep you guys in the loop and tell you guys what's going on, especially if you guys are not like a crazy person who plays every day and just a casual. So overall, everything in my gameplay settings here, you should probably just copy whatever I have on and off. I want to go over colorblind mode. So colorblind mode, I think is super crucial in this game. I personally play with Tritanopia. As you can see, everything is super vibrant in my game, and all my enemies are highlighted yellow. And honestly, scientifically, yellow is the fastest color that your brain can receive. So comparing this to the normal, everything is red. As you can see, everything looks less vibrant and things like that. Everything just looks kind of dull compared to Tritanopia. And also my colorblind settings do help with my quality. I know a lot of you guys ask how I get my quality so good. It's my colorblind settings for the most part. Everything here, my controller, I play on default button layout. If you guys do want to switch it up and not play default, I recommend button puncher, bumper jumper, or evolved. These are great options. Or if you guys have a custom controller, I recommend just customizing your own with back pedals, of course. But these three are really strong. If you guys do fuck with it, I'll see if I can get a hand cam for you guys because I know B playing on default sounds kind of crazy to a lot of people, but I just do. So my sense, I play on 4-2 linear no dead zone with AOC per optics. Not these per optics. You should always have these off. These don't do anything. And advanced look controls, all of these are off. You guys could probably keep coping and say that they do something. Me personally, they don't. You don't need any of these on. All you need is the bleed through effect. So what the bleed through effect is in Apex is you have these turned on. These are AOC pro optics. Right now I play 4-2 no dead zone, linear 1.7. I dabble between 1.7 and 1.8, but I will obviously update you guys if I go back to 1.8. But right now 1.7 is feeling pretty good to me. So you leave those on, you turn these off, and then boom, you have the AOC and bleed through effects. In my video, obviously I told you guys my brightness is on max. My FOV is 110. You should always have this above 106 minimum, so you can see your enemies clear and overall the whole field of view is just way better than obviously what they put you on default. So graphics mode performance, obviously if you guys have a new gen console like a PS5 or an Xbox X, and you have a monitor that goes up to 144 hertz, you could play Apex on your console at 120 frames per second instead of 60. But if you guys do have a PS4 or something like that, unfortunately you guys are capped at 60. And then audio, it's all up to you, but this is mine. It's just preference in my opinion. In gameplay, I want to go over your manual boost activation and your crosshair damage feedback. This is a great tip I think you guys should have on. So your manual boost, this is something they added recently. If you guys didn't know, you guys haven't played in a while, you can now super glide consistently, and you can only use one button. So this makes overall your movement a lot easier, and you can super glide whenever you want with just one button instead of using two buttons like you had to in the earlier days of Apex. And overall, it's really good in my opinion. For all the movement players that play Horizon, Octane, even Bangalore, just super gliding your way out of a situation or even onto somebody to chow them is probably one of the better feelings in this game right now. So I'm gonna teach you guys how you can super glide. So a lot of people think you can only go straight. That's a lie. You could go left, right, and backwards, but backwards definitely takes a little more skill than going left and right. So if you want to go left, all you need to do is just move your left joystick to the left. Same with right, move it to the right. And with the horizon fatigue, you could, just glide around, feel yourself a little bit, and just go wherever you want. So once again, if you want to go left, you go left. If you want to go right, you look right. It's pretty simple. Down to the crosshair damage feedback. For the average player, this is automatically turned on. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like for the normal player who doesn't care about their settings, but you guys do want to switch. You see all that visual clutter when I'm shooting somebody. It's just kind of annoying in my opinion. So once you turn it off, it's just you and the iron sight and the damage you do. In my opinion, I think this is better because I can see my enemy way clearer, and I already know I'm hitting them, so I don't want to see that big X. You know what I mean? I want to dive into the overall gun meta and what's going on in the season. So I will say it's probably an SMG meta.
An upgrade would put a pep in my step.
All the SMGs are really strong. The Vault, the R9, even the alternator. But me personally, the alternator with the double tap is probably the best version of the alternator. The RE, once again, probably only good if it's purple and up. Obviously, every gun right now in this game is just super crazy. All the guns are super OP this season. The TDK, you could probably die to any gun within 2 seconds. Overall, this season it just has some crazy overpowered guns. For ranks, I've been seeing a lot of people using the G7 just because you could fry people with that and then walk up with your SMG. Shotguns are obviously pretty good for my up close demons. The Havoc is really strong with the turbocharger this season. Havoc is back into the rotation. The L Star is pretty good. The Devo is okay. The Devo got a pretty bad nerf. It's been seen under the radar, but the Hemlock is pretty good too. And overall, everything's just pretty good in my opinion. And I'll dive right and I'll teach you guys how to
Oh,
control the
I
recoil right
should
now.
select an upgrade.
So overall, controlling recoil is pretty easy in this game. As long as you keep your left hand on that left joystick and your right thumb on that right joystick at all times, then you should be able to track people, especially if you guys are learning linear. Linear will increase your gameplay by like 10 times just because it's your raw input. So everything you do, the game will follow. And what better way to just bet on yourself, right? So I'm gonna teach you guys mirror strafing and counter strafing pretty much. So let's say your opponent goes left, I go my left, your opponent goes right, I go my right. So this pretty much just leads to like a little effect where it cancels out the recoil because you're following the opponent's movements and your aim's just it's really just like butter. All you need to do is just follow their movements. If they go one way, you go the same way. It's that easy. I'll teach you guys one-way strafing now. So one-waying, let's say you have a target that's a lot
Heavy numpty
farther
right
than
here.
you think you're more confident enough to shoot. If you just go the same way they're going in the opposite direction, that's called one-waying. So this guy's doing way too much. You want to shoot him. You know he's getting shots in at you. You just want to go one way. Well, I kind of fucked it up there. But if you just go one way, just like that, you'll be able to fry just like that. It's pretty easy. Overall control and recoil. I recommend definitely just dabble with your sense. See if you like mine as well. If you guys are gonna try my sense. 4-2 linear, no dead zone with ALC per optics. I showed it early in the video, so you guys got that. And overall, all the guns in this game are pretty easy. I will recommend if you guys do want to try out the SMGs, definitely try out the R9, definitely try out the Volt. I will say if you guys do want to get better with a specific SMG, I think the Volt is better than the 9. But obviously, if you meet somebody who has a better R9 than you, then the R9 is probably superior in a 50-50 fight.
An
But
upgrade'll take me into
that's it
orbit,
for the gun
so I
recoil.
best pick one.
Lastly, I think I'm gonna dive into the legend meta. So overall, Horizon is super strong again. She recently just got a buff where after her blue perk, she could get a gravity lift where it's just like Lifeline's little glider. She gets a glider now, and her purple buff where after she gets a knock, she can gain an extra ability. So she could have two Qs after a knock, and you could just fly around. So she's pretty much just unstoppable. And she has that fatigue stat where you could pretty much just silent land on somebody and magnum from behind. Assault characters, Bangalore Revenant. Bangalore got a buff as well recently. Her smoke can now kill all doors. So if you smoke on the door and somebody's on the other side of it, that's an easy one mag. And Revenant is just super strong just because of his jump, his fast reload, and his ult that gives him what 85 more HP. Support, I would just say probably Conduit, Loba, Lifeline. Low
An
key
upgrade
Newcastle
would put a
too,
pep in my step.
but Newcastle has always been strong if you're good with Newcastle. Controller, obviously Caustic and Watson got those buffs, but if you do want to get better at this game, I don't recommend choosing these characters and just sitting in buildings. Definitely not the play. Recon, I have been seeing a lot more Seer. Valkyrie is super strong. Once again, she got a buff as well. Her Qs now she could Q off her ult, so you could Q somebody while flying in the air, which is insane, and stun them, and then land on them and kill them. Overall, this season is pretty overpowered. Alter is back in the rotation, but she always has been just because of her get out portals. But overall, the season is pretty overpowered. Everything's just super good, and this is probably the best season to get good at Apex if you do want to dedicate some time because we do have a long split ahead of us. But hope you guys enjoyed. Obviously, drop a like, drop a comment if you guys want me to do more of these, and I hope you guys have a good day. I'm out this bitch. I love you. Peace.